Hey guys, so this is the Tanchjim Origin, their flagship dynamic driver in-ear monitor with an asking price of a little over $250 or around 22,000 rupees. So yes, these are expensive. But after testing these out, I found that this really justifies its asking price in most scenarios. And there are just a few instances where this has kind of disappointed me. So let's break that down, starting with the unboxing. Okay, so the Tanchjim Origin comes in this rather medium-sized packaging, quite chunky. Sliding off the outer cover, we get this beautiful looking box inside. Inside the box, we get some paperwork, the oxygen-free copper cable that have 2-pin connectors on one end and a 3.5mm stereo jack on the other. You get 6 pairs of silicone ear tips of various sizes. Out of these, 3 pairs are wide bow ear tips and 3 pairs are narrow bow ear tips. Now the wide bow ear tips are made to enhance the treble response, while the narrow bow is made to enhance the bass response. You get a large, hard-carrying vegan leather branded case to carry your in-ear monitors and their accessories in. You get the 2 extra pairs of tuning filters while one comes attached. Now the one that comes attached is the standard version, while here you have the light version and the dynamic version, each of which is supposed to give you a different type of sound signature. And of course you get the Tanchjim Origin in-ear monitors themselves. Now in terms of the specs of the Tanchjim Origin, so this houses their flagship grade DMT5 dynamic driver, and it's got an impedance of 16 ohms. So these would be categorized as low impedance in-ear monitors, which your smartphone should easily be able to drive. Then again, when you're paying so much for a pair of in-ear monitors, which really should be used to determine the subtle nuances in the tracks or the layers, you wouldn't want to waste it by having something that can't really power these and make sure that these perform to their full potential. That is where a portable DAC comes in. Nothing too fancy or expensive, just something that can make sure that these perform to their full potential. You get the maximum volume that these can produce, the best audio quality without leaving anything in the tank. And as always, the one that I personally use will be linked in the description below. Now, as for the build quality of the Tanchjim Origin, it is just exquisite, super premium, thanks to its all-metal build. The edges are seamless, no jagged points anywhere. It's got the cold, hard feel of metal, super polished finish, and while it packs a lot of heft being all metal, there was zero ear fatigue. The fit is just so comfortable even for long listening sessions, no issues whatsoever. Overall, with the ergonomics, the fit, the seal, everything was absolutely perfect. Now the Tanchjim Origin comes with some extra pairs of tuning nozzles or conduits. Now these are marked with a D, you have an L, and the one that comes pre-attached has an S marked in it. Now the S stands for standard, while the L and the D stands for light and dynamic. Now these are supposed to give you subtle differences in the sound, but the differences were so subtle that after listening to hundreds of tracks in various genres, I found that the differences were barely noticeable. Nothing, extravagant that I could actually recommend one over the other. So after trying all of these, I just settled on the standard tuning nozzle that comes pre-attached, and that gave me the perfect balance of clarity, detail, bass, you name it, the 3 frequencies. So going forward, my review of the sound signature, the sound quality, is going to be based on the standard pre-attached tuning nozzle. Alright, now let's talk about the main criteria, which is the audio quality. Now as you know, sound is made up majorly of 3 frequencies: the highs, the mids, and the lows. The highs or the treble response, where the really sharp sounding instruments are, the mids where the vocals are, and the low end or the bass response. Alright, starting off with the highs or the treble response, the highs pack excellent detail, retention, and technicality. The treble extension is great but not overdone, maintaining an organic feel overall. The nuances are rendered with great control and layering, and you can clearly inspect each instrument in the treble range. So overall, the treble is rich, detailed, and has just the right amount of sparkle to make things sound fun while maintaining authenticity. Next up, we have the mids, where the vocals are. Now the mids are rich and bright. Vocals do favor the upper mids, adding a layer of brightness to them, but don't sound hollow or tinny. However, a shade more warmth would have made it just perfect, making them sound more natural. Now something I noticed is that on busy tracks, the upper mids can sometimes bleed into the highs, which, though rare, is something that was noticed. Now, female vocals, on the other hand, sound pristine. No issues there whatsoever. The star of the show, however, are the instruments in the mid-range, such as guitars that truly shine, packing immense richness, detail, and excellent clarity. Now, while the mid-frequencies, in my opinion, are not technically perfect, they are excellent overall. And finally, we have the low end or the bass response. Now, the low end, while primarily focused on the mid bass, was also quite consistent with the sub-low rumble. Not extravagant, but it was definitely present. The bass is very well textured, fast, and very, very tight. The low end is a blend of balance and power, so neither is it exaggerated nor does it fall short. Unless you're a bass head, the low end was enough to complement any track that you throw at it. Now, as for the soundstage of the Tanchjim Origin, it was moderately wide. But what really stood out was the imaging, where the position of instruments in the track was extremely well represented. Basically, it's not just left and right, rather tracks sitting diagonally opposite one another. That distance, that positioning was clearly represented, and that added a whole new level of immersive listening. And I'm guessing this same aspect could also be really beneficial for gamers who really need that spatial awareness. Alright guys, just to summarize, the Tanchjim Origin is truly an impressive in-ear monitor. Yes, it does feel and behave like a premium flagship, but whether it justifies the price tag is subjective, as the type of sound signature one prefers is also deeply personal. Objectively, however, it sounds rich, layered, and is great for analyzing tracks. And when you take into consideration its presentation, its build, and its rich sound quality, the Tanchjim Origin is nothing short of an in-ear monitor that truly deserves to be called a flagship in its own right. So there you have it guys, that was my review of the Tanchjim Origin flagship in-ear monitors from Tanchjim. If you have any other questions regarding this, do hit me up in the comment section below. I'll try my best to answer them. As always, the link to this and many other in-ear monitors and audio accessories will be given in the description, and I would really appreciate if you use those links to make your purchase to help me run this channel and produce more such high quality videos just for you guys. So thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, share this video, and I'll catch you guys very soon in the next one. Cheers.